This is Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in a little roll and write game that really caught me off guard with how good it is, and it's called Nirvana. I don't have the full game here, but I do have some scraps of paper from the game that I played with my friend Henry, and I just had a really good time with it. It offers a huge twist on the trick-taking genre. Because it's a roll and write game, and over the course of the roll and write game, you are writing numbers in these little sections here. So you're going to roll 3 dice. All players share those same 3 dice, and you will write down the 3 numbers on those dice within one of these little sections here. So I could choose this green, let me use the blank side. So I could choose this green section right here, and I could write down each of the 3 numbers in those 3 little bubbles within that green section. And also 3 times throughout the game, up here you can check off one of these little hexes, and that lets you manipulate a number that you're writing down by plus or minus 1. So that's what you're doing for the first phase of the game. You are filling in these bubbles. And at the end of that phase, you add up the sum of the columns. And some of the columns are broken into multiple sections. So like here's a 2 column and here's a 1 column section. You're adding up the sum in each column and you are creating a card. You're essentially creating your own hand of cards. And so you can see here, here's my sheet here. I tried to create a bunch of the same number for reasons I'll explain in a second. So I created a couple 12s, created 16, another 12 over here, a bunch of 7s. I tried to get these numbers to add up to equal multiples of the same number. And the reason is those numbers created a hand of cards. You can see that hand of cards right here. It's a hand of, 14 different cards. And I said trick-taking earlier. I should have said ladder climbing. These cards are then my hand of cards that I have created. I haven't randomly drawn them. I've created them, not randomly created them. And those cards are going to be used for a ladder climbing game, which means like, if I go first, I might say, okay, I'm going to lead off. I'm going to play my 2 4s. So I would then cross off my 2 4s. I'm playing a pair of 4s. And that means every other player who follows in that ladder climbing round has to play a pair of cards that is higher than 4. So someone else could play. So if it got back around to me, I could say, okay, I could play a pair of 12s, or I could try to hold on to some of these 12s because I have 3 12s for a triple round of the ladder climbing. And you were basically just trying to get rid of all of your cards as soon as possible. That is the player who wins. But this element of creating your own cards is so cool. I don't think I've seen that in a game before. I know there are ways to like craft your hand of cards in some trick-taking and ladder climbing games. There are ways to help cards evolve in certain games, but to just create your own hand of cards from scratch and to have so much agency over that, even though the dice that you're rolling here are random, the way that you configure them is fully in your control or largely in your control so that you can add up and get as many kind of pairs and triples and quadruples as possible. And it just feels really good I felt sneaky and clever the whole time as to like these different combinations that I was creating. It felt really good. I really like this aspect of creating my own cards for a ladder climbing game. And I really can't wait to play Nirvana again. I really, if you can't tell, had a great time playing this game. I think it's a really clever mechanism. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game. If you played Nirvana, let me know your thoughts below. And if you've played another trick-taking, ladder climbing style game where you were able to craft or create your own cards, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about that. Thanks.